Alright folks, welcome back. It's the best of 3. Of course, this is a tournament that's been encouraging some smack talk, so right out of the gate from Blind, just imagine this juicy minus 45 MMR when you lose to me. If only it worked that way in custom games. But to the top left, of course, we have the blue Zerg player, Team Experts Bly. And that's a cheeky pool.
Yep, that pool is quite early, Riff. And on the right bottom side of Catalyst, we're looking at the main base of the Finnish wonder boy himself. I think, after all, this has been an amazing 2017 for him. It's, of course, a Serral.
And of course, we gotta give some big thanks to the sponsors, but we said good morning to each other. We forgot to say good morning to the Twitch front page! Hello, all you new StarCraft viewers, or old ones just catching the game on the fly. I hope you guys will come join us in chat today, but this tournament is brought to you by two folks. Primarily, our main dudes, the main folks, PeopleImages.com. It's a stock photo website, high quality pictures, high quality video for high quality projects. Be sure to check them out if you're into that sort of thing, or web design, or whatever floats your boat there. And we've actually surpassed $7,000 now in Matcherino. There's still a Matcherino commanded chat. There's still codes you guys can soak up and use. The code is PeopleImages. I think we're at like 71.5K or something. It's really sick. Or not 71. Wow, I wish. 7,150 something bucks. A lot of money raised for a lot of good players. And with that being said, we got the legs heading out across the map, Roddy.
Yep. Overlord is going to spot it almost immediately. Still chatting. Now Serral knows exactly what he's up against. The pool is not done yet. Now I always kind of wonder, what is Bly going to do, right? Is he going to keep all of his links in the low ground? Is he happy with just killing the hatchery? Or does he want to do damage to the hatch and then take down 3, 4, 5, 6 drones in the process? Let's see how Serral handles it. But Serral, normally a master of being patient and fighting on the exact right moment.
Yeah, Bly actually, it's funny, these sort of openings can usually end up macro games if this trades out somewhat decently, but Serral's pulling the drones. He wants to keep this hatchery alive, so he's not going to be letting Bly get away with this.
Yeah, Bly's actually not fighting the drones yet. He's just going for more damage. Things are... Get it? He's going to be forced to fight. He might actually be trapped here.
A little bit stuck on the side. With the drone advantage, this will go Serral's way.
Serral has to be careful though, you don't want to take too many more additional hits. Bly's still going for it. Seems like Bly's gonna go.
Oh, he's committed.
But I don't think he's gonna get it. Oh my god.
2 hits would have finished this. Oh my god, FML. Oh my god, the FMLs. Guys, this is the most appropriate time to type F to pay respects in chat. Also, I'm just gonna quickly swap over to Skype for audio here. You'll still hear me. You shouldn't need to change anything. Just do me a favor, say something real quick.
I'm saying wow.
Okay, there we go.
Bly's asking how much HP was left. I think when I clicked on the hatch, it was 6 HP left. It was incredibly close, and obviously you don't need to be a rocket scientist to figure out that Serral is in a phenomenal position now. A, he's got a faster hatch. B, has more larvae to work with. C, still has all of his lings alive. And D, he's got a better economy. So, what do you do right now if you're Bly? Do you go for the additional kill? Don't forget, just because it's alive doesn't mean it can die later.
What's really interesting though is Serral did lose, actually taking a quick look at the graph here to prove it too, Serral lost so much mining pulling the drones off to defend that hatchery, that this is a game where Serral's definitely ahead, but he's not like light years ahead of Bly here. It's just a good, strong lead. He's got speed, as we see here, Bly can't catch his opponent's lings. This is a real pain in the ass. But Bly, he went back into droning quick enough that at least he's not so far out of the game, right? Like if this was Bly at 14 drones, he's screwed. There's no chance to fight. Sitting on 28.
Of course.
Not great, but not the worst.
The biggest problem is that Serral is ahead and Bly has absolutely 0 tools to be aggressive on the other side of the map. And that is the biggest downside of it all. Because right now the numbers are close, but in 2 minutes from now, these numbers are not going to be that close anymore.
Yeah.
And I actually think that Serral is only going to get further and further ahead. And I think the only thing that Bly can truly do is just play as passive as possible, which is obviously against his religion. I mean, we're talking about Bly here. But you can't be aggressive. The more aggressive he is, the more further Serral will get. Because there is no way that Serral is not going to be ready for any sort of attack that Bly could potentially make.
And slow links too coming in. He just can't pick a fight. He's got the damage if he could fight like head on head and a choke, but cutting caught in the open like this, he's going to get surrounded. That's more surface area, that's more damage, and he gets annihilated.
I would have almost liked to see him just run all those slow links into the natural and just suicide it on the hatch. I mean, good chance he's not going to get it anyway, but with like, you know, it was only 50, 60 HP. If he gets like 10, 12 hits up, that could very well get the job done. Now he loses all those links for nothing, because obviously there was no way home, and there was not a fight he could ever win. Also, when it comes to graphs, you know, even though Serral lost a lot of mining time, graphs look very dramatic early on into the game, right? Because you don't have much mining. So if you lose like 500 of your minerals a minute for like 30 seconds, that has a massive impact on the graph, and it looks very dramatic. But in the end, it's actually not that bad. It's really funny, Serral doesn't know about this hatch. He could have easily killed the hatch. He still doesn't see it, Riff. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I'm looking at the vision right now. He's gonna see that creep spread coming out, like, and be like, oh man, this was such an easy pickoff. Bly's actually been given time to get roaches out for this too. He might be able to save that. He's got a couple of transfuses. The roaches are on deck, 8 of them. I mentioned 3 queen DPS. Yeah, he'll chase off these links.
Well, that actually gives him some sort of life. Because Serral could have easily, I think, get a cancel on that hatchery. Because the bases were not even connected by creep.
Yeah, that was a big mistake out of Serral. But also, can you blame him? The Overlord was so close.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you just assume you would have been envisioned if you had been able to see it. But unfortunately, that wasn't what happened. He's going to lose a queen. Not the end of the world. Not like killing a hatchery. And this is where the game it's really almost, I'm going to like use air quotes here, boring. Because now we're going to be waiting for the roach fights. And once these fights kick off, once you get a couple of Ravagers in there, it's going to be exciting and fun. But it is the fact that this early in the game, no matter how good Serral or Bly's economy is or isn't, you can't really beat Defender's advantage until you're hitting like that 80 supply number.
I'm gonna meme a little bit here though, Riff, but will it though? Because at the same time, Serral still has so much more. Like Roach fights, Roach Ravager fights can be very fun. But if one guy has an 1 or even 2 upgrade advantage, and he's gonna have 30, 40 supply more in Roaches, I'm not sure if I would call it fun. I mean, I'm gonna say it's fun if you're on the winning side of that battle. But for Bly, I think this is still gonna be very hard to turn this into a competitive game.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't, if there's a situation here where maybe if he's got Ravagers and Serral doesn't, you know, there's the just right amount of corrosive bots, but he doesn't. I thought he was going to morph them immediately because he knew he'd be behind, but unfortunately, no, he's just going to be meeting Serral head on head with roaches who are for the brief moment on the same upgrades, but not for very long.
No, that's a decent position for Bly. Maybe he can sort of stabilize here, but don't forget that he lost like 9 or 10 drones even. I mean, there's a couple of roaches behind that middle line as well, getting a few more kills. But those are links, right? The links looked so harmless, they looked so innocent, and those were links that were not supposed to get that much done. Killing 6, 7 drones of your opponent's 55 drone economy, that is freaking massive. You know, even those links, Serral got a huge return of investment out of it.
Yeah, and while maybe the Roach fight wasn't the hottest, he's going to have +2 for this next one.
Yeah.
He's got that, with so much extra workers going on right now, he doesn't have the army supply, but he will in a second, right? Like, plus Defender's advantage, plus Spine Crawlers. There's just a million things here that say this fight should be impossible for Bly. But Bly is known for, like, his tenacity, his stubbornness. He's going to fight this out to the bitter end.
It is now or never for Bly. The problem is you're going to have Defender's advantage on the side of Serral. Every second that goes by is a great second for Serral because he's 28 workers ahead, which is ridiculous when you're working with cheap units that are roaches. Bly knows that he's on the clock. He needs to take this fight. Does he really want to take it? Probably not, but he's going to do his best.
+2 just finished up. Even if the Corsair Bows don't land, they do chase off the roaches with some lost damage, but Bly wasn't chasing into them, so he doesn't get any advantage from this. Serral dodging the bios pretty well. Bly just eating them. This doesn't look good for Bly, but I think we knew that before the fight even began.
Yeah, Serral's been so far ahead ever since he kept that hatch alive. But of course, it is not always easy to close a game out when you have a lead, but Serral gave us here a clinic on how to take advantage of every way you could possibly be ahead in a ZvZ, and he made it look easy. You know, he just did everything right, and he's doubling the supply now. This one is pretty much all over.
It is crazy, like, the butterfly effect that was this game, though. I mean, 5 health on that hatchery. That very could have, like, that could have been a very different game. This wouldn't have looked the way it did. It wouldn't have been so one-sided if Bly got 2 extra melee swings in, right? But yeah, this is getting cleaned up at this point. And unfortunately for Bly, he's gonna lose game number 1.
And you gotta give credits to Serral as well for pulling those drones, right? When the hatch was under all that fire. If he pulls those drones like a second later, there's a good chance a few of those links survive just a tiny bit later or get more surface area. And then there is a chance that that hatch would have gone down. And I totally agree with you. It would have been a completely different game and everything we saw would not have happened.
You know, I feel actually that game with the hatchery itself being what it was, that is the perfect, like, representation of when you hear people say, like, every vote counts, right? Like, okay, let's get everyone invited here quick to Blackpink for map number 2. Gotta get the French folks in.
What do you think about Blackpink, Riff?
The song or the map?
Is it a song? I thought it was a band.
Or band, excuse me.
I don't know. I mean, I honestly do not listen to that stuff at all, but I
K-pop?
thought it was a band.
You're right, because the song that I was thinking was Boombayah by Blackpink, but
Oh, that one.
I actually, it's funny, my favorite, I don't actually like the map, just objectively here, but my favorite part about the map is that little, that area outside your natural, the low ground. It creates some really interesting defender disadvantage situations a lot of the time. And I think that's really unique, and we don't have a lot of those in maps.
What I like about Blackpink is a little bit of what Abyssal Reef had as well, that I don't feel that our expand patterns are absolutely set in stone, right? Obviously, there is a basic way to do it. Most of the time, you just stay on the side of the map. But where do you take your fourth base? Do you then take it, like, do you create that little quadrant? And where do you take your fifth then? Do you go all the way top, or do you go further to the bottom? And sometimes people don't even take the one on the low ground. They go all the way towards the bottom. And I do really like that, because it feels that almost every game you play is quite unique and different, rather than on some maps where there's clearly only one way to expand.
Well, we can show this off a little bit more for those who don't know the map. We're going to hop into game now, though, so we'll see you folks on Blackpink. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2. Spawning here on the bottom left side, fighting for his life in this best of 3. We have the Red Zerg player, Team Experts Bly.
And he continues talking, the irony. Over here on the right top side of Blackpink, we're looking at the main base of the European WESG qualifier champion. It is Serral.
Boy, that's like the lamest title of all time. The qualifier champion.
Yeah, but the 18K he got for it is not that bad.
No, that's not bad at all. Don't get me wrong. Just like the actual name of that title, though, is so weak.
I know. But I thought it was very nice for him, because he finally got that monkey off his shoulder. You know, there were too many people. I still feel way too critical. I've had this speech like 10 times already, so I don't really want to do the entire speech again. But I just really felt there were a lot of voices in the community still saying that Serral was overrated and he could only win on the ladder and stuff. And I was just like, guys, like, he made it to the finals of Yon Chopping. Like, for anybody else, that would be an amazing performance. And he lost 4-3 against Neeb. Like, where is this coming from that he can only win online? It was clearly not correct. And he had a couple of other good runs, so I was just happy that he finally had that offline victory, because he really deserves it.
I know it doesn't carry the same weight of a championship or prize money guaranteed, but Serral, of course, had not just an amazing, the best run, without a doubt, for this tournament. If you guys didn't see, he won 10 games in a row at King of the Hill against 10 fantastic European players. Not just like a bunch of random low masters or anything like that, like top of the top, people like Showtime, etc. Like, Serral is, if there is anyone here who thinks Serral's overrated, do us a favor, just leave, because you're not going to appreciate the games, trust me. But I did also...
The kid is so good, especially when he's really feeling it, right? And that day, obviously, when you had the King of the Hill European version, like, he was really feeling it. And going through a bracket like that, going through almost everybody to only finally get stopped by Snoot, I mean, that was just another remarkable performance by him. And I'm so excited, Riv. I really am, to see what he can bring in 2018. Obviously, the 0-4 loss against Bunny in the semi-finals of the PeopleImages League that we're casting right now, I think that is a shocking result. Maybe not for some, but I think anybody that really follows all StarCraft, you could say, like, well, Serral is not known for his ZvZ. I can get behind that, and I think that's still the one matchup where he truly has a couple of things to fix. But for all, like, that's kind of... You know, that's harsh, right? But yeah, I still think in 2018, plenty of time to work on it, and I really think we're going to see great things out of him in 2018. I'm so excited to see him at some of the big tournaments.
A couple of things actually right here already. I love just watching the way he's placing his lings ready to move up that ramp. It doesn't seem like a big deal, but it's the advantage of the positioning you would take on Bly, who runs in like this, single file. So Serral would have had like the innate surround out of 4 lings. Small details make this guy a champion. But I was also going to mention the prize pool difference, because, well, we got a lot of money for this overall tournament. Sadly, 3rd and 4th place match are not nearly as rewarding, and it breaks my heart, because Serral should be getting the big bucks from this. But to be clear, the winner of this best of 3 gets $479 at current. Now, of course, this number will go up as you guys use codes and donate, but $479 for the winner of this, $359 for the loser. So a little over $100 between the two of them for who wins this best of 3, but a lot of money overall.
Alright, I want to give a shout out real quick, or at least mention that Bly has been skipping the bailing nest. Right now, Serral is running a couple of links into the main base of Bly, while Bly is pretending to be aggressive, but as soon as Serral figures out what is going on, he's going to be like, hey, wait a minute, you're not being aggressive at all. Actually, you're playing very greedy. And I wonder if Serral can do something with the information that he just got for himself on the other side of the map. He knows about the Roach Warren, but that Roach Warren is kind of late. Bly is skipping the Baneling Nest. That's just kind of greedy, right? Like, Bly is a man of extremes. He loves to be hyper-aggressive, but if he goes for macro, he's often a man that likes to cut a couple corners as well.
Yeah, and this will be the difference of like having 4 extra roaches or so, right? You gotta consider the cost of the gas for the Baneling Nest and the actual Banelings Serral has made. I think that if Bly gets away with this, it's gonna be great, but it's gonna be difficult to do that. Roach is still not starting up just yet. Also,
yeah,
big shout out to Parting for that host. Thank you very much, my dude. That's the ultimate blessing for a stream right there when Parting friggin' hosts you.
He's so cool. I hosted Parting already twice. I just can't help myself. It's like, who can I host? And then you see Parting. It's like, okay, made up my mind. Gotta host Parting. He's still cool. I'm happy that you have, you know, almost like nagged him so much into coming back. I feel like he almost owes it to you. But I'm for one very grateful, Riff, because I'm very happy when I see Parting playing StarCraft.
We made a blood pact, man, and he's honoring it. Parting is a man of his word. Now this attack here for Serral still, it's not that big, but these Banelings make the world of difference, and Bly doesn't want to let those get to the mineral lines. Serral's trying to use those specifically on other Zerglings, but as the roaches start popping out, Serral loses attack power.
Quick shout out, there's one Baneling on the ramp of Serral. Bly has to be very careful. Serral was already looking for that and gets a decent connection. All those links go down. It's not, you know, insane amounts of damage, but that is a run by that Bly would have really liked to kill 6-7 drones with, right? With that amount of links. In the end, he gets nothing.
The drone micro is so sick out of Serral. Oh my god, he mineral blocked the one back while he pulled the, like, goddamn, this guy is good at StarCraft.
Yeah, these tiny things is just so awesome to watch. He tucked it away in that little corner, kept it safe. All the drones served as a bodyguard, a little bit of social service there. Secret service, actually. Social service, not from the drone. Well done. Just really small moves, but well done by Serral. May not like that joke. Because I messed it up. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been that funny.
Also, chat, thank you guys very much. I forgot to rate Rotterdam on the overlay here, too. I just fixed on the outer game one. So that's fixed now. Thank you guys for letting me know. But people are asking about Bly because they've not seen him before. Also, just so you guys know, this tournament's one where the sponsor has not just encouraged but requested smack talk. Bly's not just being BM. Like, Bly is a guy who's willing to be BM, don't get me wrong.
Hey, Banelings at the third base of Bly?
Yep. 5, not bad.
Oh, not bad at all.
Serral's
Decent little run, right?
Well, Serral's right now, it's accompanied by a +1 upgrade lead. If Bly takes this fight now, he's not going to win.
But it almost feels like he really wants to take the fight. He was already down a few workers. Now he's down 12 workers in total. He's sharking around. He's looking for an opening with his roaches and ravages. But if you just look at the defensive positioning from Serral, I really don't think Bly can get much done here.
Overlord dodges the shots, wastes the corrosive balls for Bly. Those on cooldown now. As Serral waits to take the engagement, he's just not sure whether it's in the third or the natural, so he keeps posturing between the two. This could create a very dangerous situation, but that Overlord's doing a great job keeping an eye on what's going on, and Bly can't kill this damn thing.
He really wants to kill this Overlord, but...
He can't hit either.
He's doing the double Overlord micro, by the way. He was on the fire on the north side as well. He's saving that one too. Serral finally had enough saving his Overlords. He's gonna jump on this army. And I really like the amount of units that Serral has here, and Bly is in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, 32 roaches to 17. The Ravager count kind of negligible on both sides. It's just going to be a brute force thing. Serral doesn't mind taking this corrosive battle. He can afford to do it as he chases down the roaches. He's going to keep that number called. He's going to keep that number low, and this doesn't look good for Bly.
It's amazing in a game where you feel that Bly skipped a corner or two by not getting the Baneling Nest. He did make a lot of links. He didn't get much done with it. Just looking at this Bly right now, as I hear Totem here somewhere. I don't know where he came from. I don't know. I don't see any way how Bly can defend against this. This is an insane amount of units by Serral.
Oh man. Well, this is over swift and just. I don't think there's much really Bly could do. Even Serral's just like 3 roaches on the bottom side are distracting, allowing Serral to get positioning on the top of the ramp.
I mean, that Evo Chamber is gonna fall as well, no +2, but I don't think even that would have made a difference. I think he cancelled it actually. Bly cancelling the +2, trying to get a few more units out. But Serral has a ridiculous amount of units, and he just got another very, very, very convincing ZvZ victory. His ZvZ lately in some of these tournaments as well, online and offline, has been absolutely impeccable. Like, I think he's like getting close to like an 80-90% win rate if you look purely at the last 2-3 months of him playing official ZvZ is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, he won the Nordic Championship versus Snoot. Ultimate ZvZ right there. GG's get called, and Serral will lock down a third-place finish for this tournament. A little bit sad for Bly. Oh, rest in peace, buddy.
Extra $120 or something like that, depends what we end on. That was not bad for, like, what was it, 17 minutes of work, I think? That's a decent hourly rate.
Well, it is, and then you get sad because you didn't make it all the way to the finals. Because, man, the prize pool difference between third and fourth, second place, guys. All right, so Serral walks away with $480, right? That's awesome. That's great. Second place is going to walk away with almost $1,400, though. So there's a lot of money on the line for this. First place is almost $3,000, and we're going to find out which of these two players coming up next are the ones to get that money. It's Bunny versus DNS. We got to do some server swapping. We got to go get Maynard here on the cast, too, because the guy's been not bored, but eager and waiting, if you can believe it.
He's been smiling, though.
He's
been smiling.
I'm just enjoying this high class. This cast has been 10 out of 10, and I've just been enjoying it. That's all.
All right, well.
Suck up.
Oh, Tannis, you're so loud. We're going to go to commercial break, guys, while we figure out the vetoes. We're going to veto to 1. It'll be loser's pick after that. DNS is in Korea. Bunny in Korea, so it'll be all on the Korean server. No latency issues, hopefully. And we'll see you guys in a little bit.